Good morning, folks, and happy Sunday. Happy Labor Day weekend. It's going to be day 38 working down here at the ranch. I figured since it's Labor Day weekend, I better do some labor. I feel like I've got about 8,000 things that I need to get done out here. I probably won't get all 8,000 things done today, but I'm going to at least get started. I'm going to do some weed eating, of course. And then I brought some bricks to put along the back side of the lean-to. As you can see, well, maybe it's a little wet back there. It's pretty much rained a bunch the last couple of days. It rained pretty much all day Friday, and it kind of let off yesterday morning, but it was kind of cloudy and I didn't think it'd be dry enough. It's still pretty wet out here, but I do got a little more rain in my rain barrel collector. At some point, folks, I'm going to put a gutter on here or some sort of a spout going down to that. I think I'm also, while I'm weed eating, I've got this pile of wood. This is like really from day one, somewhere in there. First week I was out here. So I'm gonna bring that wood over here to the fire pit, and I'm gonna see if I can get this thing burned down a little bit more. It's still pretty wet out here, so not sure how well it's gonna light up. But anyway, day 38. It's actually a pretty beautiful morning, about 80 degrees, so hopefully we can get some stuff done. Here we go. All right, not really sure if that's gonna stay lit. It is still really wet out here. Everything seems pretty wet, but I'm gonna start weed eating this area right here, getting it cleaned up. So there's your before. I'll show you the after. Here we go. All right, we got this little area weed eated up. Fire's actually acting like it wants to kind of take off, so that's good. Going to start working my way over here now. Try to get this little area cleaned back up, and eventually we're going to move on to some new areas today. I'm going to make it down to that tree today where I've been wanting to put that trail cam, so I'm going to keep hammering away at it. I'll get this little area cleaned up. We'll move on to the next. All right, the fire is still going a little bit. It's about out. Pretty wet still, but got this area all cleaned up, looking a lot better. I'm gonna try to get over here on this other side and work my way down the path down by the road there, and then I'm gonna come back and start working that area over there. We're gonna try to get that camera moved. All right, we got this main area all cleaned up, and now I'm gonna start working on a project right here straight in front of us and open up that trail a little bit more, since that's kind of where all the deer seem to be passing through when they come out this way. But it's actually a really nice day today. Fire's still going pretty good, and hopefully weather stays nice. I can knock out a few more of these projects, keep getting her cleaned up in here. I think the good news is that right around the corner here, it's going to be we're going to start getting into our dry season, where it doesn't rain a whole bunch. It basically is pretty dry. Every now and then we might get a little rainstorm. It's good and bad. The good news is we won't have to come down here every week and pretty much get this place weed eated up. So fall is right around the corner, folks. It's been a really nice couple of days, aside for the rain, but the temperature's been great. So anyway, we are going to work on this little section here for about 10 or 15 minutes. See if we can get her cleaned up for the deer. Alright, so got that path opened up a little bit wider. Make it a little bit easier to get through there for myself and the deer. I am going to go back here and weed eat all the trails back there. I think I'm going to let the cameras marinate for a little bit. Probably maybe until I come down, maybe later on in the week. I'm coming down next Friday for sure, but I'll probably be down here at least one day before, just to make sure I got everything rocking and rolling. So I'm going to weed eat these two little paths here all the way back to the camera there. And then I'm going to come back and get you guys. We're going to go clean up around that tree back there. Here we go. All right, so got this little area weed eated up a little bit. Again, at some point I'm going to come in here and clean up this little island here, get that cleaned up, opened up a little bit more. But now we're going to come back here and we're going to get back to that tree I've been talking about 15 times a day. And then I'm going to go work on the other trails, get them weed eated up, and get the bricks out of my truck, and then that's probably going to be it for day 38. It's about 3 o'clock. It's warming up, that's for sure. I've been here since about 10:30, so starting to wear down. I was sitting on the couch all day watching it rain and watch football, and watching football and eating snacks most of the day, so it's catching up with me. Here we go. Alright, check out what I just spotted. Hopefully you can see it, but there's definitely a clear trail coming down through here. Coming out right about here. So I'm gonna get the rest of that tree cleaned up around there. I'm gonna probably leave that as it is, just so it kind of stays as normal as possible. But I may clear out a little pocket right in here, right through there, open this whole little area up, and then that way I'll basically have a view of this whole area right in here where this little trail's coming out. Here we go. Alright, well, since we're over here, we may as well change out this SIM card, see if we got anything. Then we're going to put it up on the new tree there. Here we go. Alright, that SIM card's been traded out. I'm going to try to walk in front of it and see if it gets a few pictures of me as I'm walking away, to make sure it's all working. I didn't have anything on this camera the last time I came. Not even me picking it up, so just wanting to make sure it's working properly. I did catch that deer the last time we were out, but that was also the time after I thought I might not have turned it on the time before. So anyways, we got a little bit more weed eating to do back there on the main trails, and since I switched that SIM card out, I may as well switch the rest of them out. That way we'll be starting fresh. But I'm gonna weed eat a little bit, and I'm gonna come back and get you guys, and we'll take a walk down the trail and trade out them other two cameras, trade out those SIM cards. I'm actually in the process of testing another camera I have. I've had it for a minute, so I've got it set up, and I'm gonna see if it's working, and then I'll probably end up bringing it out here too. So we'll catch you in a minute. Here we go. All right, I got these trails cleaned up back here. I'll tell you what, man, some of that stuff back there is tough. it was beating my string up pretty good. I'm gonna be really happy to get my new machine. It got processed on Friday, so I might be seeing that maybe by the end of the week. We'll see what happens. If not, we'll have to wait till I get back from meetings. I got out of town for a week. All right, let's see if this one caught us anything. All right, that one's set. So I think one of the other things I want to do when I first get my machine is go ahead and get this trail opened up back here, and then hopefully start working on this trail back here. But anyway, if all goes well, I may have it, if not this week, the week after next, so that'll come in real handy. All right, so we're getting back here where we saw the little deer family. I was really happy to see those on the trail cam. I actually think there were 2 does, a little baby, and then the buck, and they were kind of confused about the chair back here. So that worked out in my favor. We'll see if they came through after I moved the chair. There's so much of these sticks still down in the ground. It's making it tough to get it cleaned up back here. So anyway, we're gonna check this one, but I think, I think they're going and kind of maybe hanging out in this little area over here. So that's where I was thinking about putting a deer stand at some point in time. And then we're going to talk about the 50 pounds of corn and probably another camera here in just a second. Let's see if they came back through. All right, that SIM card was like soaking wet, so hopefully everything's all right. We did get a bunch of rain down here. So my buddy Jeff and Shane have told me I need to get some corn and some salt lick, and I definitely have that on the list to do. So my next project has to be down by the road to get that ditch cleaned out, so that water moves through there and doesn't cause any more problems. But this little area right here, and I don't know how easily it's going to happen, but I am thinking about setting up a feeder in here. This goes back to the other trail. And the reason I say that is because I really want these deer as far back away from that road as possible, for a few reasons. I don't want them to get hit by a car, obviously, but I know there's so many people out there that hunt deer out of season and do things of that nature, and I'm afraid if they get too close to that road too often, somebody might see them and then try to take a shot at them. And also I feel like if I'm gonna put my stand here, then for the most part they're gonna be staying back here in this area when they're ready to eat. And then at some point, right at first, I'm probably just going to clear out a little area, 20 by 20 or something like that, and then I'll start opening it up a little bit more. This machine that I'm getting, I think I'm going to have an easier time running it through stuff that hasn't been touched, as opposed to even this trail right here, because there's still some tree stumps that are coming up out of the ground. And this machine that I'm getting, that's about the only thing they worry about, is if there's a stump too high up off the ground and you don't see it, it could actually mess up the machine. So I'm going to be taking it real easy at first anyway, and kind of practicing in a couple of areas. But once I'm a little familiar with it, I'm going to try to bring it back here to some of these spots that I want to get opened up that haven't been touched by anything, because then the big trees are really obvious where they're at, and I just have to kind of stay away from them. But according to everything it says, I can take a tree like that down with the machine. So if that's the case, this machine is going to come in super super handy out here and really helped me get it opened up in a much quicker fashion. So I know I've done a lot of talking today. I felt like I'd leave you out of most of the weed eating videos because you see me weed eat once, you see me weed eat 1,000 times, and that's only so fun. But before I go, I'm going to line these bricks up that I brought along this back edge. I'm hoping to get 2 layers. Part of my problem with this table is it's so heavy. I tried to move it by myself and I almost broke the leg, so I got to figure out what I can do with this table. I may have to see if my buddy can come down and help me, and we'll kind of move it and then try to get it situated to where I can work on some sort of a downspout or something coming down there to it. So for now, I'm just going to rely on the rain itself to fall in there and fill up that barrel. But I do want to fix this problem where I've got a bunch of water sitting back here. So here we go. All right, got that started. Looks like I'm gonna be able to get through there with another row. I've got about 50 more of them blocks at my old camp back at the house. I just gotta drag them out about 30 or 40 yards. So anyway, I put that dirt on top of there in the hopes that it kind of seeps down into the cracks and kind of seals up a little bit. And then what I'll do tomorrow, I'm going to work down by the ditch because that's #1 priority right now. I'm going to grab a couple wheelbarrows full of clay, and I'll put it over the top of this and kind of spread it down in the hopes that it kind of seals down on top of them and all the rain will roll off the back from now on. So we'll see how that works. It's just a theory I have. Another good news for the day. Everything I cut down, I got into the burn pit, so a good part of it's already burned off and I didn't have to start another burn pile. But we pretty much got this place cleaned up and looking good, so I think I've got one last thing to do. I got to move my camera again. It's I probably just have to move it a little bit, but it's also really dark back there in that corner, and I think one of the trees kind of blocks out the light, so I don't know that you can see much farther than that tree over there. So I'm going to change my camera out. I don't know where I'm going to set it. I may go back to where I had it. I may actually put it on a tree pointing down that trail just to see if we can see any deer. I think everything will be fine out here for a while. Here we go. We're definitely catching Bigfoot now. Well, I won't lie, my game plan wasn't to put that camera on that tree facing that way, but after I got it cleaned up and I saw it, I thought that looks like a pretty good spot to go ahead and set up the camera. And hopefully we'll see that little deer family out there running around a little bit more on the live action. I need to find me some cameras that have some audio, because I feel like it's a lot more fun when you can hear what's going on around the deer. And for example, in one of those videos, the doe stomped her feet a couple times. So I don't know if she was hearing something else or trying to stomp at that chair to get the chair to get out of the way. But anyway, folks, got a lot done today. It's moving up on 5 o'clock. I'm wore down, but I got quite a bit done out here at the ranch today on day 38. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, commenting, hitting the like buttons, and follow me along on this journey. Day 38 was a good one. Tomorrow's Labor Day, so I'm planning to get out here and do some more labor on Labor Day. My #1 objective, I need to work on that ditch. So whether it's hot or not, I need to get out there and at least try to get that started and get it cleaned up. I need to bring a little bit of that clay up here to the top anyway. So folks, I appreciate you. Hope y'all have a great Labor Day weekend, and we'll catch you next time.